Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over this modified Tesla Model 3 Performance. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to Tron Auto Lab for giving me this Model 3 Performance to review. It's one of their shop cars, and if you want any of the modifications that this car has, feel free to reach out to them. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below. Let's get straight into the video. Just like most electric cars, you do get a frunk in the Model 3 Performance. It does have a car cover, like storage space is great. And then underneath, notice that you do get this floor covering, whatever you want to, well, I guess frunk covering, I don't know what to call it. Anyways, you've got the rubber covering on the bottom. But yeah, I mean, you've got a frunk. The thing that's interesting though is closing this, you do have to kind of like put pressure just right here, wait, there, and then that'll close it. Now let's go over the front end of the Model 3 Performance. So first off, this does have a full wrap, and I love the two-tone idea on this. So first off, we've got the all black hood and with the custom badge just down below. And then this is huge on the Model 3. So we have the wrap that extends right here onto this portion of the headlight. And obviously it doesn't block anything in terms of the usability of the headlight because it's all in that area, but it makes it look significantly better from an aesthetic perspective. And again, Tron does offer that, so I would recommend getting that done to your Model 3 or Model Y. Completely transforms the aesthetic. You guys can see it looks so much more aggressive with that. And then this does also have a body kit. So notice we've got the carbon fiber front splitter. Yes, that is real carbon fiber. And just look at that from the front end perspective. It makes it look so much more aggressive. And I mean, it really makes this look less like a sleeper because, you know, Teslas kind of look like sleepers. So we've got quite a bit going on here with the side of the car. So first off, we've got 20-inch wheels in the front and in the rear. They're Belgian lightweight wheels. They look absolutely fantastic. Now, wrapped around those 20-inch wheels, we've got two 55mm tires in the front and then two 95mm tires in the rear. Gives this car so much more grip. And then we've got the red brake calipers because this is the Performance model. If you're wondering on the tires, they're Pilot Sport 4S's. So again, that also adds to the grip. Now, on top of that, this car is on lowering springs, so it definitely changes the stance. It looks significantly more aggressive because of those, and it improves the handling. And then it also has an upgraded sway bar in the rear. Obviously we can't see that, but you guys can imagine. And then notice that we've got the carbon fiber side skirt right here, the carbon fiber accenting right there over the camera, and then here on the mirror as well. And then notice that instead of chrome, it's also been blacked out around the windows, so it just looks a whole lot better. And yeah, just seeing this from the side, look how aggressive that looks. Now let's go over things here in the rear. So first off, we've got this custom carbon fiber spoiler. Looks absolutely fantastic. We've got the tinted taillights, makes it look a little bit darker, more aggressive. We've got the custom Tesla badge right there. And then we've got the diffuser here in the back. Looks super aggressive. Again, just completely changes the overall aesthetic from the car, and I absolutely love it. And then notice that the reflectors down here have also been tinted to kind of match the overall theme of this Model 3. But yeah, just the back end of that car, like, this looks good. I don't like the look of the Model 3. I love the look of this one. Now that is just interesting. So we've got some light changes here to the interior. We've got a bunch of Alcantara here on this portion of the door panel, and then we've got a bunch of leather trim down below with the stitching that goes throughout. And then notice we've got the carbon fiber trim here in this area, and then also up here. And then full leather seats, so again, that's completely stock. We've got like rubber floor mats, nothing too crazy going there, so I'm not going to focus on the rear end too much, but again, interesting. So coming to the door panel here in the front, again, we've got the Alcantara that's stock with the leather trim, and then we've got more carbon fiber that's been added, and then even here on the seal as well. And then here are the seats with the Model 3 Performance. Then you guys can see the pedal layout. And then normally get wood trim here on the dash, but again, we've got the carbon fiber, which has been added here to the dash. I'll kind of pop in so you guys can see it a little bit better with all of the carbon fiber. Looks fantastic. Normally this is where I push the stop start button, but because it's a Tesla, you just get in the car and then it is automatically on. But just like all the other Teslas, you've got this beautiful steering wheel with the Tesla logo in the center. You do have some controls right here on either side of the steering wheel, basically for the radio, and then you've got the gear selector stock right there behind it. But other than that, super simplistic, nothing in the front because everything is here in this center screen. So notice how I've been in the car for a second and it's letting me know what I have to do to basically get the car to go. So just have to hold the card down to that little area right there. And then notice that it'll confirm it and it'll let us know what to do. And then also, well, this is where Tron Auto Lab is if you guys were wondering, but again, it's also on their website as well. But as for the screen, super easy to use. So we've got shortcut buttons here all at the bottom, and then you've got little car button, which is most important because this lets you customize things with the car. So like, for example, we can go to the lights, the locks, display, driving. Notice that we've got the different modes, and of course, sport mode for everything, because like, what else would you want? You don't want a slow acceleration. And then also we have the autopilot over here, so you can see all of that. But yeah, really cool infotainment system. Response time on it is great. It's easy to use. And then this does come with heated seats, no ventilated seats. They're not perforated or anything like that, if you guys were wondering. But yeah, obviously you can do the fun stuff with this center screen where you can like play video games and all that kind of stuff with the steering wheel. And I mean, just kind of like a Tesla gimmick is what I'll call it. But again, this is mostly about the mods with the car. So yeah, I guess there's a screen. I forgot to show the camera, so I'll show you guys a little camera system, how you got all the different viewpoints. And man, look how big those tires are. Girthy, but yeah, that's the screen. So we have all of the carbon fiber trim that's been added to this portion, and then these little things are actually magnetic, so it's, you kind of want to just like softly close them. If you try to close them harder, then they won't close. But yeah, definitely unique with that. We've got the cup holder here, and then you tap the key just on that little portion. Got our center console, which is pretty normal. Got Mentos in there, very important. And then we've got stitching right here, and then notice here across the dash, all of that fun stuff. But yeah, interior on this is really nice. And then the last thing I want to mention, and I want to show this from an interior view because it'll look best, is this does have a tinted sunroof. So with the Teslas, obviously they do the gigantic sunroofs, or like with the Model Y, they do the kind of roof that goes from like the windshield all the way to the roof itself. Whereas this, obviously with the double sunroof, still has it tinted, which is really nice just because it's going to add a layer of protection, but then it just makes the interior feel a lot more comfortable. So that's another cool modification, I guess. Now let's go over the power figures here for the Model 3 Performance. So since this is a first year Model 3 Performance, it's good for 450 horsepower and then 471 pound-feet of torque. It's supposed to have a range of over 300 miles, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, that's the performance. And then here's a quick outside view on that tinted sunroof, and wait for it, wait a little bit longer. Let's take her out and see how she drives. So let's talk about visibility here in the Model 3 before we set off. You guys can see visibility of the hood's actually really good, and it's just interesting how long the dash is. Like, I can't even reach to the end. And look at this cool Tron Auto Lab hat. Pretty close to matching the color of the TRX, actually. I think that's pretty neat. But anyways, aside from the cool hat, there's your visibility through both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And with all that being said, let's set off. So we are setting off here in the Model 3 Performance, and I've purposely put it over into the chill mode for the acceleration and then comfort for the steering. Regenerative braking I just have on standard, but I want to see if there's like that much of a perceivable difference in the acceleration when you go from the chill mode to the sport mode. So again, we're in the chill mode right here. I'm going to punch it. I mean, that feels like a pretty quick car. It's not like, doesn't like throw you in your seat or anything like that. Like my TRX feels like way punchier than that. But again, that's the chill mode. I'm going to put the steering over into the sport and see how that kind of, yeah, definitely weights up a lot more. Feels a lot more aggressive from a steering perspective. And then I'll pop the acceleration over into the sport mode. Regenerative braking is pretty good. As soon as you take your foot off the pedal, it's not super harsh, but definitely, okay, yeah, there's definitely a huge difference. I just barely got into it with the sport mode, but there's definitely a big difference in terms of like how much power it is giving you in that sport mode. And we'll kind of just punch it here a little bit. Whoa. Okay, yeah, that is huge. Like, look at this. Okay, we're gonna chill again. Like, it just kind of like teeters up a little bit. But then in sport mode, wow, that is crazy, the speed difference. That's pretty cool that, I mean, like, the difference with the drive modes, like, you just don't see that. Most cars, you change the drive mode, makes the steering feel a little bit different, makes the throttle response feel a little bit different, but it's not that much. Like, that is pretty crazy if you ask me, in terms of the difference. Like, that is a difference between like a car that's just, you know, kind of quick and gets up and moves versus like a crazy high performance car pretty much. What is this person doing? Okay, they're turning into a driveway, but as slow as they possibly can. Yeah, the regenerative braking is really good, actually. It's not too intrusive, and it actually is pretty easy to deal with. Gosh, this thing is so fast. I kind of get the Tesla hype now. You guys know I've been like super negative about Tesla for the longest time, and I kind of get the hype now. This thing's, it's fast, but I guess the only downside is like you don't hear anything. You just hear like a little whoop, like this is the Jetsons. But well, it's not even that loud. Like the Jetsons at least kind of made like weird bubble sounds. This doesn't really make any, like there's a little whirring sound, and that is pretty much it. So we're continuing along, and I want to get something to test the handling, but before we do that, we got to do underpass acceleration. Oh my gosh, that gives you such a head rush. Such a head rush. Oh my gosh, my head is just like going all over the place. Don't worry about that. That is absolutely nothing. Yeah, the acceleration with this is crazy, but what we'll do is we'll kind of come around this corner. We'll try to go a little bit, not crazy quick, but a little bit quicker. Yeah, it handles very flat, very, very flat. Like there is no body roll, and it just sticks. You have to fight with the car a little bit when you push it if you're accelerating, but overall it handles really well. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to get this whole Tesla hype thing, guys. So let's sum things up with this Model 3 performance. So first off, yeah, the acceleration is crazy. I mean, I've got like a headache now from like how hardcore that acceleration is, and we'll actually be able to get it from a complete stop here, which will be fun. So acceleration is crazy, handling's crazy. Now with this Tron build, I think this is how the Model 3 should come from the factory. Obviously it doesn't. I would recommend doing something similar to this, because the Model 3, it's just not a good looking car in its stock form. It really isn't. I am not a fan whatsoever. And so with the body kit and everything that this has, it makes it look aggressive. This is actually a car that I would want to drive around. Like the driving dynamics stock are great, but with the wider tires, you actually get more grip. And with that sway bar upgrade, I mean, the car already handles great, but this handles even better than stock. And so it's like, it just takes the stock car and it elevates it, and it just drives so much better. And again, like I said, this is a Model 3 I would actually drive. In its stock form, no. Like, yes, it's fast, and yes, it handles great, but it's so ugly. And this actually looks good. We'll get a standstill acceleration. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that is absolutely crazy. They say 0 to 60 in like just over 3 seconds. I believe it. Now that's gonna sum things up for our video on this modified Tesla Model 3 performance. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to Tron Auto Lab for giving me some time with the Model 3. Check out their website in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.